Hey, I haven't had a Kansept knife in my studio recently, but this one was named after Barbara Walters. Remember her on TV? It's the Baba Wawa. No, I mean, hold on. It's the Baba Yaga. I'm sorry, it's not named after Barbara Walters. Wow. Modern culture. Here we go. Baba Waga. And it's so tough because remember, who was it? Rosanna Dana. Or, I mean, Gilda Radner, who was doing wasn't she doing the Baba Wawa thing on Saturday Night Live? That was back when Saturday Night Live was unique and creative and tried to stay away from politics. So, but no, this is the Baba Yaga 3-inch blade Sparrow knife. Sparrow knife. And this is the second one, or I can't remember. They may have done 2 others. They've done one other one. I'll put it down here because I forgot the last. It was not long ago. You'd think my brain would work. But this one here is got the 80s camo going. Talking about going, retro. 80s camo carbon. Now, retro to me is not the 80s. It's more like the 70s, right? When I was in college. And then the 60s when I was crazy for cars and stuff like that. Just crazy, obviously. Bead blasted titanium. Sparrow, baby. Sparrow. Oh, I opened it good. How about just drop it? Oh, yeah, there we go. Drop it. There you go. Drop it down. Stop or I'll shoot. They don't do that anymore. Remember the old cop things? Stop or I'll shoot. Did they actually do that? Because I grew up in a small town, so cops weren't going to shoot anybody. They knew who you were. But stop or I'll shoot. I bet that'd get people to stop today. Camo carbon. Pocket clip. Sparrow. Greg is a custom knife maker. And by the way, he had a booth. Well, he always has a booth, I think, or at least the last few years, in Atlanta. And what other shows he goes to, I don't know. But a custom knife maker, and my buddy over in Cape Coral, he likes Sparrow knife, custom knives and stuff. So when Kansept came out with the one not too long ago, he's like, oh yeah, I got to buy that. I love it. And then I think he's going to like this too, because this still has a lot of design language, of course, because same designer. Hollow grind, 20 CV blade. And there's some variants in there. The problem is the variants get kind of expensive, although not crazy. I mean, some of the Wii knives, when they throw mokutai in them, they go up, or a Damascus blade, they go up to like $600 and some. These don't. Okay, but here's Greg, knife maker, Coast Guard, Mississippi. Oh, he's on the Gulf Coast of Mississippi? God, he's a southern boy. Making knife about 5 years. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so you could, And the Slavic folklore, Baba Yaga. See, I did, the mythical Baba Yaga herself. I know her. She was on the news. Baba Wawa, right? May appear unassuming, but it carries a lethal edge. Razor sharp, all that kind of... Okay. Sorry, Baba Wawa. Premium Warncliffe blade, 20 CV. And it's Warncliffe. So remember that. 7.5 with a 3-inch blade. Okay, we're going to check that out. I'm not sure. And about 5 ounces. And they start putting mokutai in there. They want a little bit more money for it. But you can get the regular unadorned model for $1.99. And if you can buy this on White Mountain Knives, then $200 would be $180, right? 10% off. LTK as your discount code, and it would be like $180 to your door. But mine, being the camo carbon thing, was a bit more expensive. And There's $259.89. That you can get the one with the Damascus for $197 with that copper carbon, okay? And then you can get this with the Mokutai as well, and then you could blah, 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 whatever. So, in the black, into that, into this. So, Sparrow knives. Not a front flipper, not a top flipper. Feels chunky in the hand, though. It feels chunky in the hand. It doesn't feel slender, like just a really, like a fragile, thin little gent carry or anything. Even though it's not a big knife, it's got some heft to it, and probably this full backspacer adds to that, don't you think? Probably gonna, well, boy, oh boy, I guess 3, but down here 3 1/4. What's the cutting edge? Shit, it's over 3. Yeah, 3.06 or something like they were saying on there, and that's probably cutting edge. 7.5 overall at about 19 centimeters. And then, you know what I'm a little curious about? Blade stock. It looks thicker than normal, whatever normal is these days. 0.14 at 3.7. That's good, isn't it? Woo, I don't know if it's good, but it's thick. 13.8 at a 0.54. So, yeah, okay. So the reason it feels substantial in the hand is because it's thick here than most knives, and the blade stock is thicker than most knives I've been looking at recently, and a hollow grind. And, come here, you. Okay. Wow, kind of grabs the paper and just has at it, doesn't it? Okay, so it is sharp out of the box. It's really sharp, and I don't need all you guys anymore. Get out of here. But, okay. Nice little drop on it. I mean, it's not, I mean, it'll come down and get you initially, but that's what you got to do. It's not hydraulic or guillotine, but I think that changes, number one, over time as you flip it. And number two, you can always adjust the pivot a little bit and kind of get that figured out too. I think they tend to be a little conservative, making sure it's not loose when they ship it. So, I mean, this will break in. Yeah, it's nice. It's centered. There's no blade play or lock rock, any of that stuff. And Kansept, when they make a premium knife, they make a nice knife. It's there with Kaiser, Best Tech, you know, whoever. I think they're, I mean, the thing is, these things are done on sophisticated milling machines, and so it's like if I've got a 5-point or 5-axis and you got a 5-axis, who wins? You know? I mean, that's the thing. So then it gets down to just tiny little details on these things, and this feels good. I mean, you can feel the inlay a little bit there. I mean, with your nail, just a little bit as it comes across there. Not really here. Yeah, a little bit there, but not much. It's pretty seamless. I mean, the way they do those inlays, I mean, there's no gaps and raggy edges or anything, but you can just barely feel. I mean, if you had your eyes closed and you felt along there, you could feel where the inlay is. But that disappears pretty well. This side does. Pocket clip looks fine. You know, are they as functional as a wire clip or a, you know, regular stamp? Probably not, but you got to put one on there. You can't put no stamp clip on there, not on a knife like this. So they work. They're okay. Backspacer though is great. They got anything on the inside that I need to know about? No, but I mean, they're augering all this out to put the inlay in, so they don't really need to do any weight relieving on the inside. And so, it doesn't, you know, even though I know this is like a 3-inch blade, it just doesn't seem like a 3-inch bladed knife. It seems so much more substantial than that. Kind of, you know, the small, chunky type stuff. It just doesn't seem that small. Okay, let's put it on here. What do we got, grams? Well, 138 grams, so it's not a super lightweight at all. 4.87. It's not 5 ounces, but 4.87's pretty good weight for, I mean, pretty substantial weight for a knife, no bigger than this. So, I mean, if you want a 3 and a 7, get a paramilitary, get a para 3 from Spyderco, not paramilitary 3, but get a para 3. I mean, hey, you want something that's only 3.8? This is 3.8. This is 4.8, right? And this is a bigger knife. I get it. And it's slimmer here. And the blade stock is about the same. Probably just a tiny bit thinner on this than this is, but not much. This is definitely thinner than this. But I mean, it's a much bigger knife. But you know what? This just seems, yeah, it's a chunky knife. It is. The ergos are fine if this is good for you and you can get all your fingers on there, then you can do that. Can you sneak up here a little bit? Yeah, you could, and then it'd be even easier to get everything on there. And then you got this thumb ramp thing, but you don't have any jimping on the thumb ramp. And then you got ambidextrous thumb studs, and they're easy to operate, and you can do whatever you want with that. So the fact that it's not a front flipper, top flipper is fine with me. I'm good with that. And the design flow is fine. It comes into the bolster like this, and it goes here. And could I have thrown another 16th on there, maybe? Instead of a 3.06, maybe a 3.15. Maybe I could have in there. I don't know. I mean, you don't want to catch the end of that blade. So, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, Sparrow knives, they're good custom maker and, of course, collaborative as well on this. So, what do you think, folks? You like this one? The Baba Yaga. So it did mean something. It was mystical and all that kind of thing. But it just hit me that certain way when I saw it and whatever. The names on some of these knives, I'm sorry, Baba Yaga would not have been. But, you know, I guess you've got to get creative. There's so many knives out in the market being named this and that. I tend to go for just the short and easy to spell and easy to pronounce names. And Yaga is not tough, so Baba Yaga, I could do that. Yeah, fit and finish is fine on these. Like I'm being redundant, but fit and finish is fine. I mean, Kansept, if you haven't had a Kansept knife, then if you like Kaiser knives and Best Tech knives and that kind of thing, then you know what this is going to feel like here, right? You like it or you don't, I think. And then here's the box. And of course, in the box comes a microfiber cloth and your paperwork in here. Then your pouch and your plastic here. And so that's how it's set up in this box. Is one that they've been using for several years. Slides together like this. Tough. Looks good. And the Kansept Baba Yaga, there you go. And you know what? If they wouldn't have put inlay on the backside, I would not like it at all. But the fact that they did, they're getting symmetrical with this. Also, before I part ways, oh, what did we do? No, I think those are number 6s, aren't they, on the body? I was going to just check it. Yeah, they are number 6s on the body. Okay, so that would have been one thing that I would have done. But I love this 80s camo carbon. That's part of what drew me to the knife, aside from the fact that it's a Sparrow collaborative design and a hollow grind blade, okay? And usually Wharncliffes are not something I chase necessarily, but then there's times when it looks totally appropriate on the knife, and this is one of those times. So I'm good for it. Thank you so much. We do love them knives. I'll give you the link to Kansept and also to White Mountain. If you can find it there, and you can get 20% off, LTK discount code. You could do that as well. Whatever. But you guys, stay sharp.